it hit me. What I was thinking about with the 2020 zero growth of Americans is that fundamentally we have now bequeathed women and the old. It took 1 year, and this is one of these things that I think, like, I forget how this works. There's a term, I'm sure Eric, Mr. Trinklin, you probably know this. This is probably a term also that HVAC man or some of the rest of you who you work in a field where you deal with physics along these lines, that it's a leak in the wall. That zero growth of people is a leak, and if you don't plug the leak, it'll not just get worse, it'll get significantly worse, and it will end up causing not just severe damage to the wall, but the whole wall might come down. And that this is no matter what, you have to fix the leak. Like, it'll do something you don't want. It's just a matter of how bad will the results be. So the zero growth of Americans right now, and then the all the stuff that goes with it. So this idea of these how during the Smokeshow, Kevin Samuels also brought up, a lot of women don't realize that these men that they're trying to pursue who make six figures are this exceedingly small number of men in the workforce. The idea of a man being kind of a high value man, that he's at the LinkedIn level, that other men eat because this man does what he does. Like what he does feeds families. That kind of level of man that then these women are saying, I want to find a husband like that. Well, I was thinking about, like, okay, the zero growth of Americans in 2020, the lack of marriage, then if I was to get married, the only man I would marry would be this man who fundamentally does not exist. And from there, it really was that, remember, everybody who called in to Kevin Samuels made a great point in just doing the Smokeshow. Because he proved this point of delusion, of being just flat out delusional, and that you're starting to see this hit. I think it's hit like most of society pretty hard across the developed world. Delusion. This simply being delusional. The mind unable to focus, having your mind in two places at once, not being grounded firmly in your physical form so that you actually, like, move, like you have command of your body, and kind of a full array of understanding of what's running through your nervous system. Understanding the consequence of decisions, like actually understanding the fundamental concept of cause and effect, and really like having a brain that will wrap its mind around cause and effect over time, like how SMV had to be walked through over time during that example. He could not get her to think through, like, you must have thought about this. You must have at some point thought this through, ma'am, that this would mean a woman has from 18 through 30, where she has SMV at a level where she can kind of demand anything from the sexual market, where, I guarantee you it's old men that own the porn companies. Like it's older men. Oh my God, no way. A wedding dress shop. Does this not say everything about liberal America? And there's a wedding dress shop. It's on. No, fuck that. You don't believe me. It's not really there. Oh, look at that. Look at don't park in front of the place that's empty with all the places that you can park. We're going to tow you away, buddy. If you park in this, nobody's using this, okay? And if you park here, let me tell you, we're going to make sure somebody runs off with your fucking car, dude. Because why leave somebody there when you could fuck with them? But I mean, I know why they're doing it, because somebody will just park there and sleep there, and that is straight up. In this city, somebody will park there and fucking camp out, and will not take it as, okay, I got lucky. No, they will keep camping there, and then they will do shit to fuck it up. Yeah, this is the whole deal. Well, holy crap. Oh my God, and you could see the Eugene. Yes. I mean, and really, of any place that, I mean, and people here will be like, oh no, there's plenty of weddings, blah blah blah. And it's just like, oh, you all need to stop. It's called cashiering. I am looking at your hand, and there is no ring or tan line on your left hand. I'm looking, not seeing. So, one of the things that this made me think of, that blew me away. Like, that seriously blew me away, because I remember when women started having sex with me, and I wasn't young anymore, and it was like weird. It was like a weird thing to be like 20 something or 30 something and to have like a pretty woman interested in me, and it makes life wonderful. And I really, this is where I wanted to go with this, because okay, I was like a home care nurse. They drive like race cars or Mennonites. So you got to know the inside dope on that one. People who are around Mennonites will know what I'm talking about. Those people know what the accelerator is for. And remember, always accelerate. So, like, it blew me, because you know, this is one of these things, like, you know, like, oh, you know, like, people who don't agree with the state of Israel, you know, or no, real Jew haters, loving what's happening to Israel now with the jabs. Like, it would be equivalent to that. Like, where you're sort of sitting there going, wow, you really like seeing a person kicked when they're down. You must really hate them. You know, like that kind of mentality, where when he pointed out, he's like, no, from 18 through about 27 is your sexual market window. Men will marry women in their 20s, in their 50s. That's 30 years of sexual market value. And I was just sitting there like, holy, but, and then I said, and I was like, yeah, he damn, homie, you nailed it. I was like, God damn, homie, you know. And I was like, and she knew it. She had to concede. What you were saying is true. You know, she had to eventually. That's a well cared for van. That's a dope rig. Yeah, that's a van. That's a Vanster. You could tell by the thing. That's a dope rig. He has the peace sign on his wheel thing and everything. And yeah, that's somebody who knows his vans. He probably took care of a Volkswagen for a while too, judging from the peace sign on there. But it was, so this really was one of these moments where I was like, wow, that's, because I then started to think of my friends who had daughters and how hard that would be to imagine that. She has 10 years, and then she's an old woman. That's how it works. It's and anybody who wants to pretend otherwise, they're in a fantasy world. They're delusionals. They're delusionals, and that's the beauty of the idea of Christian marriage, is this idea of no woman is left to be a spinster. Is also one of the things that came uniquely out of the Christianized world as they started to frown on polygamy, which was normal throughout the entire planet and entire species until Christianity changed that. And places that still have polygyny when they're non-Christian, the further from Christianity they swerve, the more you start to see something like polygyny happen and become the norm. And so you become one of the side hoes. So in Savagery, the black women will all be some warlord, some gang member side chick, until he's no longer interested in them, or they'll become fundamentally women who garner younger women so that the warlord can, I mean, it's basically, it's going to be gangster's paradise, where people like Snoop Dogg will rule, and men who have normal, real jobs will always have to fear whether their wife or their daughter is going to get snatched up by some gangster and be a part of his harem. And it's hard for probably people to kind of handle the reality, level of that, but I mean, that's what it is, and Kevin Samuels has shown now that a lot of people know this. A lot of the women know this, and it's under the level, and then it was something Fuentes said yesterday, where he said, you see all these people at these big conservative conventions, and they're doing dance moves, and they're singing songs, and he's like, they're not serious. This is fucking war. They're not serious. And it's true. They're not being serious about it. And a lot of these black women who call him Kevin Samuels, they're still trying their hardest to be delusional. They want to be in delusion. They're like, pass the blunt, please. Kevin Samuels is making me sad. Yeah. But this is going to be the economics of this. And really, I'm probably going to have to talk to you, Eric, on while we're playing. Oh, goddamn ballerinas in your dance clothes. Oh yeah, get your stuff. Don't forget your stuff, young lady. And then go hopping back over there to your dance class. Oh my gosh, you forgot your leotard. Oh no. And yeah. So just some thoughts.